Hi, today's lesson is on Mood by 24kGoldn, and it's a guitar riff that just goes all the way through the whole song, and I suspect it was probably looped originally on the recording, but I don't know that. It's quite difficult to play, but it's simple in a way because it's just a repeated phrase that you just do over and over again. So once you've got it, you can play the whole song. But I think it's quite a difficult one to play. There are easier ways you could play this. The way I'm going to show you today is what I think is the exact part, the way it was played originally. I've looked at other easier ways to play this, and which sound almost right. But I think if you start with this way, if you have trouble with it, let me know in the comments, and I'll maybe do a lesson on an easy way to play it. But I always like the idea of playing it accurately, if possible. Right, so get into it. So we've got to start off with a shape where we play the 11 on the E string here with the second finger, and then the third finger on the G string there at the 12. Now what's difficult about this riff, it's not the shapes themselves, it's the fact there's a lot of string muting going on. So when I play this one, I'm going to strum 4 strings. And you notice those middle two, the 5th and the 4th, they were muted. This second finger is touching the 5th string from above, and the third finger is touching the 4th string from underneath. So they're just touching those to mute them, to deaden them. And that means you can then strum like that, and you only hear 2 notes. That's the hard part. If possible, you want this finger to touch that string as well, so it deadens that one. So if you do accidentally hit that string, it's going to be okay. So this will take a little bit of practice. So we do 2 of those, all downstrokes. Change to first finger on the 3rd string. So this one lifts up, that one goes on, so it's a 10. This stays the same. And play that once. So it's. And then we go back to the first shape. And you play this once, but very quickly you have to slide up. This one slides a bit further than this one because they both want to end up at 15. So you kind of go like that and twist your hand slightly as you go. So you go from that to that, still muting those 2 middle strings. And that's like this. Once you're there, you play it once more. And there's a dead stop. So I'll pull that together. And I'm stopping that with my right hand. And then the next half, this is in 2 halves, this riff, that's the first half. Next half, we want a power chord, B flat power chord, which is 13 on the 5th string with that finger, 15 on the next string, and 15 on the one below as well. So I'm just flattening that one finger down. And we just play those 3 strings once. Then add the little finger onto the 3rd string at the 17. That's called an add 9 power chord. It's a nice chord, that one. So we play once as a normal power chord, once with the add 9. And then here, this part doesn't sound right slow, it's only when you speed it up this sounds right. We have to just play this one note, slide along 2 frets, but because the riff's so fast, you don't really notice when you hear it that it's just a single note. It almost sounds like a whole chord, but it is just that one note. So that's. Then you go to this shape here. Now this is part of a bar chord, which you may know. It's part of that. It's easier than the bar chord because we don't need this finger and we don't need the bar, we just have that on 1 string there. So now what's happening is we've got 13, 15. This 4th string is muted by that finger touching it. And that one's on 14. So it's 13, 15, mute, 14. And we play this twice. There's another dead stop. So that second half was. that together with the first half slowly. And then up to speed. There's one other thing to mention about this riff. This is what led me to believe it's probably looped. You play it twice, and the second time, when you get to this chord, instead of having that finger on and playing the 4 strings, you just have the power chord part, which is just these two. Just play 2 strings. Like that. So that's instead of this. We just do that. That's on the second one. And then that whole thing repeats. So you play the riff again with this on the end. Then the riff again with this. Barely any difference, but a slight difference. You listen carefully to the record, that's what's happening. So now I'll play the complete pattern that I think is then repeated all the way through the song. Do it slowly. Up to speed. That's the whole riff, and that's all that happens in the song. You just do that over and over and over again. So it's a nice one to play. It's a great riff, really good one to do, but a little bit repetitive. So I hope that works out alright, and if you like that lesson, please subscribe and click like. And if you want to suggest any other things you'd like to see lessons on, please let me know. Okay, thanks.